loops. There may be a situation when you need to execute a block of code several number of times. In general, statements are executed sequentially. The first statement in a function is executed first, followed by the second, and so on. Programming languages provide various control structures that allow for more complicated execution paths. A loop statement allows us to execute a statement or group of statements multiple times, and following is the general form of a loop statement in most of the programming languages. C programming language provides the following types of loop to handle looping requirements: while loop, for loop, do-while loop. While loop, while statement. The while statement, also called the while loop, executes a block of statements as long as a specified condition is true. The while statement has the following form. Condition is any C expression and statement is a single or compound C statement. When program execution reaches a while statement, the following events occur. The expression condition is evaluated. If condition evaluates to false, that is 0, the while statement terminates and execution passes to the first statement following the while statement. If condition evaluates to true, that is non-zero, the C statement S in statement are executed. Execution returns to step 1. Example program for while statement. For loop. Introduction. The for statement is a C programming construct that executes a block of one or more statements a certain number of times. It is sometimes called the for loop because program execution typically loops the statement more than once. A for statement has the following structure. Initial, condition, and increment are all C expressions, and statement is a single or compound C statement. The for statement. When a for statement is encountered during program execution, the following events occur. The expression initial is evaluated. Initial is usually an assignment statement that sets a variable to a particular value. The expression condition is evaluated. Condition is typically a relational expression. If condition evaluates to false, that is as 0, the for statement terminates and execution passes to the first statement following the for statement. If condition evaluates to true, that is as non-zero, the C statement S in statement are executed. The expression increment is evaluated and execution returns to the expression condition. Example program of for loop statement. The do-while loop. C's third loop constant is the do-while loop, which executes a block of statements as long as a specified condition is true. The do-while loop tests the condition at the end of the loop rather than at the beginning, as is done by the for loop and the while loop. The structure of the do-while loop is as follows. Condition is any C expression and statement is a single or compound C statement. When program execution reaches a do-while statement, the following events occur. Step 1. The statements in statement are executed. Step 2. Condition is evaluated. Step 3. If it is true, execution returns to step 1. Step 4. If it is false, the loop terminates. The statements associated with a do-while loop are always executed at least once. This is because the test condition is evaluated at the end instead of beginning of the loop. In contrast, for loops and while loops evaluate the test condition at the start of the loop, so the associated statements are not executed at all if the test condition is initially false. The do-while loop is used less frequently than while and for loops. It is most appropriate when the statement S associated with the loop must be executed at least once. The user could of course accomplish the same thing with a while loop by making sure that the test condition is true when execution first reaches the loop. Example program for the do-while loop. Nested loop. Introduction. A nested loop is a loop within a loop, an inner loop within the body of an outer one. It has the following structure. What happens is that the first pass of the outer loop triggers the inner loop, which executes to completion. Then the second pass of the outer loop triggers the inner loop again. This repeats until the outer loop finishes. Of course, a break within either the inner or outer loop may interrupt this process. When the user nests two loops, the outer loop takes control of the number of complete repetitions of the inner loop. While all types of loops may be nested, the most commonly nested loops are for loops. Example program for nested loop statement. Infinite loop. An infinite loop is a loop that never terminates. When the condition that controls the loop execution never becomes false, the loop can never stop executing. One such example is shown. One creates an infinite loop. The condition that the while test is the constant 1, which is always true and can't be changed by the program. Because 1 can never be changed on its own, the loop never terminates. One can also create an infinite loop with the for statement. Example program for infinite loop.